And speaking of United Center, it'll also play host to a pair of WNBA games for the first time this season. The Sky announcing their matchups, hosting the Indiana Fever. Will be moved from Wintrust to the UC, has about double the capacity, so more tickets available to watch Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark's games are commanding massive attention, so it's no shock that the Indiana Fever matchups are being moved to the United Center. But Angel Lee recently questioned why these upgrades only happen when the Fever come to town. The reality? Clark's impact on ticket sales is undeniable. It may not be the answer some want to hear, but the demand speaks louder than words.
Well, what I do realize is that as of right now, no other Chicago Sky game have been moved to the United Center, except for one, Indiana Fever.
When a player enters the league and immediately forces teams to upgrade venues because 10,000 seats aren't enough, it's not just about star power, it's business. Last season, the Indiana Fever shattered records, drawing nearly 341,000 fans to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Meanwhile, the Chicago Sky hasn't come close to those numbers. Yet, Angel Lee insists her team plays just as big a role in growing the game. The reality? Ticket sales, demand, and cold, hard data tell a different story, one that might explain her frustration with this arena move.
So it looks like the Chicago Sky have finally done what we've been asking for, which was to schedule the games against the Fever at the United Center. And also, in case you weren't already aware, the United Center is the biggest basketball arena in the country. Both home games against the Fever have been scheduled at the United Center.
Did you catch how quickly the Chicago Sky decided to upgrade venues, but only for games against the Indiana Fever? Let's break down what this really means. The Sky just made a major announcement that has the WNBA world talking. For the 2025 season, they're moving 2 games to the iconic United Center. And which matchups got the upgrade? Both against Caitlin Clark and the Fever. This isn't just a logistical decision, it's a bold statement about demand, star power, and where the league is headed.
With Caitlin coming to town, man, all these teams are going to cash in on that. It's just the nature of the business at this point. One fan saying, let's go Fever, taking over the United Center. I can't wait. The Angel Reese effect? No. They know better than to leave free money on the table when the face card comes to town. Yeah, man, because we remember last time Caitlin Clark was there, bro, the arena erupted.
What makes this decision even more interesting is the timing. Throughout the entire 2024 season, the Sky played every game at the 10,000-seat Wintrust Arena, even with rookie Angel Reese on the roster. Despite talk of her drawing huge crowds, the team never once felt the need to move to a bigger venue. But now, with Caitlin Clark and the Fever coming to town, suddenly the demand for more seats is undeniable. That speaks volumes.
It seems the Chicago Sky have had to move 2 of their home games to a larger facility, a larger basketball facility. I'm sure, no doubt, this is the Angel Reese effect. I've got no doubts, no qualms. There's nothing. She even told me herself right here that it's not just one other player, it's because of her.
Now, with Caitlin Clark coming to town, Sky President Adam Fox is highlighting the importance of rewarding fans' passion and dedication. He says Chicago Sky supporters have always shown up, and upgrading to a bigger venue is their way of giving back. But here's the real question. If this move is truly about loyal Sky fans, why only for these 2 games? What makes the Fever matchup so special compared to the rest? The answer is pretty obvious.
One of the hottest tickets in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark coming back to the city that she owns, coming back to Chicago after Chicago gave her such a warm welcome last year. They threw Barbie night for Caitlin Clark's arrival. They gave her pink towels. The fans were lined up on the side. She was signing autographs. How is Chicago going to welcome Caitlin Clark this next year around? How are they going to top Barbie night in a 9,000 seat arena? Well, easy. We move Barbie night to a 21,000 seat arena.
The numbers don't lie. Just look at the seating capacity. The United Center holds nearly 21,000 fans for basketball, more than double what Wintrust Arena can accommodate. This isn't just A simple venue change. It's a strategic business move that highlights a clear reality about star power in the WNBA. Some players generate demand on an entirely different level, and the league isn't hiding who those players are.
This is the motion that the Indiana Fever / Caitlin Clark.
Chicago isn't the only team making this move. Across the league, franchises are following the same playbook. The Washington Mystics, Las Vegas Aces, Atlanta Dream, and Connecticut Sun have all upgraded venues, but only for their matchups against the Fever. See the pattern? See, teams aren't randomly selecting games to relocate. They're making space for one thing: the Caitlin Clark effect.
Caitlin Clark and Fever games getting moved to bigger venues on the road is normal at this point in time. We see it happen quite often whenever that Fever show comes to town. But in this case, it is interesting considering the opponent and considering the venue.
The social media reaction says it all. Fans are frustrated that only Caitlin Clark's games are getting the big stage treatment, sparking debates about Angel Reese's true drawing power. Many are pointing out the clear gap in star appeal, arguing that if Reese had the same level of popularity, more of her games would be moved to larger arenas too. The debate is loud, but the message from teams across the league is even louder. Demand drives decisions, and right now, Caitlin Clark is the main attraction.
My goodness. America's team versus a team who has the person who is the scourge of society. Oh, God. Oh, man. Quote, they watch for me, too. Barbie night? Which one is Barbie night? You got to think one of the two is going to be Barbie night, right? Look at this. Laughing my ass off. Caitlin is really giving every single team a fundraising game. I am weak. My GOAT is simply different.
This situation becomes even more awkward when you compare it to Angel Reese's narrative from last season. She repeatedly positioned herself as an equal draw to Caitlin Clark, insisting that fans were tuning into women's basketball because of her too. But actions speak louder than words. The Sky's decision to upgrade venues only for Clark's games sends a clear message. When it comes to packing arenas, the numbers paint a very different picture.
We'll be moving to the United Center. So that's significant in the sense of it will be the first games ever played by WNBA teams in the United Center. The game's on Saturday, June 7th and Sunday, July 27th. One had a date change, but they will be moving to the largest capacity arena in the NBA. More than double, I believe, what the Sky's typical home arena is able to hold. And of course, this is a duh for so many reasons.
The real question isn't just why these games are moving, it's why only these games. If Angel Reese truly had the same drawing power as Caitlin Clark, wouldn't the Sky be relocating more than just 2 matchups to the United Center? The decision speaks for itself. When it comes to filling seats, the demand isn't the same, and teams are making that crystal clear with their actions.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
The real question isn't just why these games are moving, it's why only these games. If Angel Reese truly had the same drawing power as Caitlin Clark, wouldn't the Sky be relocating more than just 2 matchups to the United Center? The decision speaks for itself. When it comes to filling seats, the demand isn't the same, and teams are making that crystal clear with their actions.
They will say this is because of Angel Reese. They can't say this because of Angel Reese, because for the simple fact, a lot of their games would have moved to bigger arenas if that was the case. They can't not say this. I know people want it, and I know people be mad about this, bro. Y'all shouldn't be mad about this, bro. This is just the reality of the situation. You're not a hater. You're not none of that if you say Angel's not as big as Caitlin, because she's not, guys. That's the reality of it all, bro.
If Angel Reese truly had the same star power, wouldn't the Sky be moving all their home games to the United Center? Shouldn't every matchup featuring Reese be an automatic sellout? If her claims matched reality, that's exactly what we'd see. But the fact that only Caitlin Clark's games are getting the upgrade speaks volumes about who's really driving demand.
Folks, last year, the Indiana Fever were in Chicago, and a lot of us were asking, why aren't they putting this in the big arena? Are they really that stubborn that they're ready to just turn away dollars just for a narrative? seems as if they got their end of their year report, looked at the bottom line and said, you know what? Slam shut. In 2025, we're going to be in the United States.
Last season's numbers leave no doubt. The Indiana Fever shattered the WNBA's single-season home attendance record, drawing nearly 341,000 fans in 2024. That's a staggering 36% increase over the previous record set by the New York Liberty in 2001. This wasn't just steady growth. It was a seismic shift in how many people were willing to buy tickets and pack arenas for women's basketball.
And the Fever are going to be over 200,000 higher than the next highest total attendance in league history. Clarkonomics, my friend!
The real shocker comes when you look at the biggest crowds. The Fever surpassed the 20,000 attendance mark 3 times in 2024 with Caitlin Clark on the roster, something Angel Reese never came close to matching. In fact, Chicago's all-time attendance record wasn't even set during Angel's rookie season. It dates back to 2016 when over 16,000 fans showed up to watch the Sky take on the LA Sparks. That was long before Angel ever played a college game, making it clear that the current surge in ticket demand isn't being driven by her.
Guys, I'm telling you, when Caitlin Clark comes to town, put it in the big arena because she is box office and it is going to be big money. Not even just the ticket sales, merchandise sales, concession stands, parking. Dude, they are racking in money from every area when Caitlin Clark comes to town. So, of course, the Chicago Sky, oh, fine. I guess I'll milk that well until it's dry.
The gap becomes even more obvious when you compare head-to-head matchups. When Caitlin, Clark, and Angel Reese faced off last season, ticket prices didn't just rise. They skyrocketed, with some reselling for thousands as fans scrambled to see the rivalry in person. But when Reese plays without the Clark factor, demand takes a clear dip. Next season's Sky home games are still available at bargain prices, while Fever home games have already sold out. The numbers don't lie. One name is driving the biggest crowds, and there's no debate about who that is.
There's a very thin line between hate and facts. And what I believe to be the case is that there was incremental growth in the WNBA comparatively to the exponential growth we are seeing now. What I'm about to tell y'all, I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Before the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means...
Even more telling is the attendance gap. Angel Reese's games averaged around 9,000 fans last season, about half of the Indiana Fever's staggering 17,700 average. The WNBA saw a 2-fold attendance boost whenever Caitlin Clark was on the court, and the Fever drew 36% more fans on the road than any other team in the league. But here's the biggest eye-opener. Even the WNBA itself admitted that over a quarter of last season's revenue came from Clark alone. That's not just star power. That's league-altering, venue-changing influence that no amount of bold claims can overshadow.
Yeah, let me tell you about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark has brought so many eyes to women's basketball that it's amazing. A dude named Acho, I forgot his first name, is something Acho.
Emmanuel Acho.
Yeah. He showed how in 5 days before the draft, she made the WNBA more money than they would have made in the next 5 years without her.
This isn't about downplaying Angel Reese's talent or influence. She has built a strong fan base of her own. But when a player claims to be drawing the same crowds as someone who is demonstrably doubling attendance, the numbers speak for themselves. It's a harsh reality check. There's a major difference between claiming to pack arenas and actually seeing the stands full.